So this stencil put up a couple different challenges for us. One, when we had first put the base down, we ruined it. So we actually then had to use tracing paper to trace the outline of it and save that and then recreate that with tape. But you know, you do what you got to do, and you talk about workarounds, and we figured out a way to go ahead and save that and then be able to use the rest of the stencil. And then you'll notice for the base we used a glaze. Instead of just paint, instead of a stain, we wanted to use a blue glaze and kind of have that as our kind of ghostly background, because we thought with the brown paint for the face and then that blue glaze, it kind of really subdues the warrior's face, really makes the bird helmet features really pop out, and we kind of liked how that looked and kind of the undertones of that. Another challenge that came at us was when we put the second stencil down. We had a bunch of bubbles in it. So there was a number of places up here, especially in the red, down here in the white a little bit, where we had wrinkles, overlaps, and you're not going to get those out. You can't take your squeegee and press those out. So we went ahead and cut those out with a utility knife, but then just used our blue tape, and then took our utility knife again to recreate, you know, that stencil design. So again, just know when you're working with stencils that those things are going to happen. What's your workaround? How do you create a repair? And go from there. The other thing that we've got going on here is, again, use your stencil as a guide and then think about some other creative things you can do from there. So simply what we did on here, we didn't go crazy, but we said, hey, for this amulet hanging from his ear, you know, let's go ahead and hand paint some stuff on the gold paint there. We also only put a single layer of gold paint here, double gold up top, because we wanted this to pop out a little more with that true gold color versus what we had in the amulet. And then we took, again, the red paint and kind of outlined the eye up here as well. Again, the top three things on this that we pulled away: learn to use some tracing paper, right, to recreate a base layer, or just to create a stencil in itself if you need to. Go ahead, think outside the box, let the stencil be your guide, but add some artistic elements if you like. Again, whether it's going from the glaze in the background to then the brown paint for the face, adding a little flair to just a couple of the elements here. And then if you do have problems with your stencil, how to cut those out, how to go ahead and fix those with some tape. And anytime you're fixing stuff and you have an overlap then between, say, my stencil and my paint, go ahead and put your thumbnail in it to try to create, close that gap up so we don't have any bleeds. If you do that, you're going to have minimal problems with your stencils, minimal bleeds to go back and fix, and hopefully some cool designs like this for your customers.